Welcome to Outreach Connection, focusing on topics and issues that reach our communities with the love and the power of Jesus Christ.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Outreach Connection. I am your host, Timothy Southers, and I'm so excited to be able to talk to you today and get a chance to converse with Tracy Kiefer from the Quincy Neighborhood Federation. But before we get into a conversation with her, I just wanted to talk to you about our theme of Outreach Connection, which comes out of Mark chapter 16, verse 15. And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. So Tracy, it's so good to have you here today. Thank you for coming to Outreach Connection. I'm excited to talk about Quincy Neighborhood Federation. I know before the show we get a chance to talk, and I was just blown away by all the wonderful things that you guys are doing there. So tell us a little bit about Quincy Neighborhood Federation.
Quincy Neighborhood Federation, there's actually 3 after-school programs in Quincy, one in the north side of town, one in the south side of town, one in the central area. They have after-school programs for kids so that kids have some place to go. They feed them a snack, they help them with school, and they also have a summer program. They do back-to-school get-togethers where they can give out backpacks, school supplies, but they're just there for the kids. They're there for the neighborhood kids, and it's a wonderful program.
Awesome. Now, with the program in and of design, it does a lot of things. I mean, you're talking about the after-school program. Of course, we're helping kids with schoolwork and giving them a snack. But as far as when it comes to feeding and the mini pantries and some of the blessing boxes, talk a little bit about that and how that got started.
So the mini pantries were started by a couple. They built one, put it out in their front yard for the neighbor kids. They moved out of town, and Quincy Neighborhood Federation started filling it. And then they had a couple other ones built, and they put them around town. Other organizations have come and they have built them and put them up, and so Quincy has 10 different boxes in our local area. And they are just a very small little food pantry that is accessible anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as there's food in there.
Wow. I just think it's amazing, too, that these boxes, tell us number one, what are in most of the boxes?
In most of the boxes are going to be easy to prepare food, snack food. We started out basically doing them for kids, but then we also have a lot of homeless, a lot of elderly, and a lot of families that are using them now. So if it's something that somebody can just take and grab and eat, granola bars, Pop-Tarts, something like that for a breakfast. There's boxes of cereal, there's macaroni and cheese cups, something that is just easy for somebody to take and either prepare or to eat right away.
Oh, that's amazing. I think some people may be unaware of the issue of hunger in this tri-state area. Talk a little bit about that.
I started doing this in 2018, and we would see kids come and some people come, and over the last couple of years, especially last year, the use of these pantries has it's exploded. We have one that I know that we fill up to 10 times a day.
Wow.
And when I say fill, we're putting food in. It might not be to full capacity, but people are coming and they're taking 2 or 3 items. Most of the people are going to have something where they're just going to be able to carry it with them. Some put them in a backpack. Most of the people will take enough items to get them through the day or maybe 2 days. But they'll come, they'll take one out of a package, they'll take a pudding cup or a fruit cup and leave the rest in there for somebody else. The use of these is just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very sad that we have that need, but it's such a blessing that people in our community are filling these pantries so that everybody has something to eat.
Speak on the mission of QNF and how you guys are continually, doing this, want to continue to do this, I'm sure, for a long time.
Well, and it's, God just always has been there for all of us. I mean, we are definitely all believers, and just to try to do for others that don't have anything, we are trying to and feed their stomachs, but feed their soul and teach them what is available, that there's support out there. There are people out there that care for them. And it is a ministry that we get people all the time that tell us, God bless you for doing this, and please thank everybody. We don't do it for ourselves, that's for sure. We just do it to help others and to share God's glory, because most of it is something that has either been donated to us. People give us food, they give us cash, they go out, they buy, they put stuff in. Nobody's doing it for themselves.
Wow. I think, I think the Word of God talks about when, when you do it for the least of these, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you gave me clothes. The whole idea of us not just doing it for our neighbors or for people we may not know, but we're doing it as unto the Lord, and that ministry that is there.
Well, and most of these pantries, they're anonymous. You don't have to ask anybody. You don't make an appointment. As long as you put something in, there's something for somebody else to take out. And that's what I really like about them, is that a lot of times we don't know who uses them, but they are definitely being used. And God's providing for them, but He's providing for us to help others.
Take us to some of the locations around town that they may be in. People may not even know about them.
So there's one on the parking lot at 7th and Adams. That's been moved there not too long ago. 812 Payson. We have 101 South 7th, so immediately south of Main Street on 7th. 8th and Elm, it's right in Little parking lot. 609 North 6th, that one sits right on the sidewalk. 1129 North 6th, that one sits up in somebody's yard. There's one at 600 South 6th. There is one at 20th Street between Hampshire and Vermont. There's one in front of St. James School and Church on 17th Street, just south of Jefferson, and there's one just north of Harrison on 18th Street. I think I reached them all. And so various places around the city, and easy for somebody to walk to. And that was the idea behind them, is if you don't have to go very far. You really don't need a ride or something to try to get to them.
Wow. I had an opportunity to talk to some school officials about the need for food for children who weren't going to school every day when the pandemic hit and all that. And then how has the pandemic affected what you guys are doing, in a way that you see?
In the beginning, we couldn't keep enough food in them. We would have younger kids come that were taking them home to siblings or to cousins that they were trying to take care of. And then the school district, thank goodness, stepped up and started actually filling that need. But there were still kids that came that might have missed the drop-off or that couldn't get to a certain area for a drop-off. So we tried to definitely put food in there that a kid could just basically try to open up a Pop-Top, something they didn't need a can opener with, crackers and peanut butter, different things like that. And we had some young kids that were feeding either younger siblings or younger cousins that were trying to take care of them. And that need increased quite a bit. We did have a lot of families that we saw show up and basically said the same thing. They hadn't been working. They needed something. Had a father show up and he said he had 6 kids he was trying to feed, and he was praying and he was walking and he saw one of the pantries. He had no clue had been there.
Wow.
And it was just, he had just been on a walk, and the pandemic had really increased, I think, the need, but it's increased the awareness, both with people giving and with people using.
Most definitely. I think hunger is one of those hidden things that people struggle with. They aren't always forthright with the fact that they're hungry. And I was watching a commercial one time that says, maybe somebody who says, can I spend a night over your house? Or, the kids who want to come over your house and stay sometimes because they don't get a good meal at home and things of nature. But it's one of those things that people silently suffer with. So knowing that these boxes are located there, and I know there's also some locations around the surrounding area too. Can you talk a little bit about those? Correct.
There's one in Ursa, one in Mendon, one in Camp Point, and one in Payson, and I'm not quite for sure of the locations. I can get that for somebody if they want them. But I do know that those started here in the last year, and it's great. I'm pretty sure there's one up in the Bowen area. So I know that various places have them, and I think that Hannibal got one not too long ago.
Okay.
So people are calling, people are seeing them on Facebook or someplace. They're calling asking how we get one, what do we need to do to get one. We will be adding another one in Quincy in an area that is very prominent for the homeless, and that one is, it's being built right now, so once we get that one, we'll let everybody know where that one is too.
Wow, I think that's amazing. There'll be 11 locations in this area.
That will be 11 locations in Quincy, and yes, it's something that a lot of people are not aware of. There is a lot of hunger in Quincy, and it's there's food available, but it might not always be available when somebody needs it or when somebody has access to it, especially kids, especially homeless, and that's what we're here to do, is try to help.
Talk a little bit about the food pantries and the mini pantries and the food boxes, and how sometimes they may be more accessible to people because of the stigma around hunger than maybe going to a pantry would be. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, and one of the ideas behind them is that somebody can just go up and help themselves, that they don't have to ask. The one on 1129 North 6, it's up in a yard, and I have gone to fill it, and I've seen people up there taking some items out. We've even actually had people kind of sitting and waiting if there was nothing in the pantries, just basically hoping, praying somebody showed up to fill them. But most of the people that come are coming at times when there's a need, when they're hungry. Certain food pantries are only open certain days of the week, certain times of the day, and if they miss those, or if they don't have the capability to store food, a lot of homeless don't have that. A lot of people, they're transit, they move from place to place, and they only have enough that they can carry with themselves. So having that available any time of the day, any time of the night, because they are used at night. There's a lot of use at night when nobody is around.
Wow. Well, like I said, the stigma around it sometimes can be the reason why people just would wait till the darkness of night to,
that's very
go
true.
Get something to eat.
Yes, and that people are very embarrassed about that. It's not anything that they should be embarrassed about. If there's a need, there's a need.
That's right. Well, how can people get involved with helping getting those boxes filled, keeping them filled? Is there opportunity for organizations to get involved as well?
Yeah, the good thing about these boxes is that anybody can put food in at any time. If you want to try to hit the kids, try to do it after 3 o'clock. If you want to help anybody, just put it in. If you want to help the homeless, maybe go a little bit later in the evening. This time of year, we can do that a little bit easier. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. We have groups, we have prayer groups, we have church groups, we have individuals all over that do that. But a lot of people just are not aware. Pick up a couple extra items when you go to the grocery store. You never have to fill the whole box. If everybody would add a couple items and pick a Monday or a Wednesday and just go put a few items in, pick up a peanut butter, pick up macaroni cups, pick up tuna packs, the open packs. There's protein in it. It's good, and those are very well. But just pick up a couple items. In the summer, bottled water is huge to have. Toilet paper, anything like that. Put a few items in and pray over the box. And that helps. If many people would just put a few items in, it would keep these boxes going. Wow.
I think it's amazing too that people have been doing that. Now when it comes to people doing this, do they need to call first, or how can they go about that process?
Nope, anybody can go at any time. We actually will see weekends, there's a lot of people that go because they're not working. And people call and they'll say, well, I went and the food box was full. Give it a couple hours and it won't be full anymore. So if you go and it's full, go at a different time, go at a different day. There is always a need in the boxes. And again, weekends are usually they're usually full because you got a lot of people that are not working or that take their grandkids or that go in a group. But they definitely, if they're full when you go, they will be empty in a few hours. And yeah, anybody can go. You don't have to request anything. That's what's so amazing about them.
Wow. Now, what would you say would be the immediate need besides people just filling the boxes? Of course, prayer, people can do that. So if someone's watching the program today, you said, this is how I can get involved. What would you say would be the immediate need?
Well, one of the biggest needs is just letting people know that they're there, talking to different people, talking to groups, and making sure that people know that they're there to try to keep them filled. It's a short-term, long-term, whatever it is. There's always use for donations. There's always use for volunteers for people to fill them. it's just whatever God is going to put on your heart to do.
Yeah, that's amazing. I want to talk a little bit about the after-school programs. If someone wanted to get their young person involved with the after-school programs, what would that process look like?
So there's the Harrison Center, there's the Jefferson Center, and there's a Parsons Center. They all have a Facebook page,
okay,
and they can contact them through there. My number should be up on the screen, and I can get them a phone number of where they can go. But they are now pretty well back to numbers before COVID, so they've been pretty busy. They have activities. The kids usually really like to come. There's somebody there with them. They can help them with homework, and they do a craft. They do just have a lot of fun while they're there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's if you're concerned about what your kid's going to be doing there during the summer, the summer program's a couple of hours a day. It's not all day. The after school program again is a couple of hours every day, but it gives those kids some stability, different places where to be, where to go. And most of the centers, they have somebody that's there that knows those kids, so they have somebody they can go to if there's a problem.
Yeah.
And it helps out. Yes, I can get them a phone number, or they can go on Facebook and try to get hold of somebody at the centers, whatever is easiest for them.
Awesome. I know you have some great events coming up. You want to talk a little bit about those, the ice cream social?
There's going to be an ice cream social at the Harrison Center on June 10th. It's going to be very different this year because of COVID. We will be making ice cream cones up and delivering them, or if they want to come up and get them. There is a very big back to school fair, and I'm pretty sure that one is on August the 3rd.
Okay.
Do need to sign up for that one if you want. They will do haircuts. There's going to be clothes there. They have a back to school backpack with all kinds of school supplies. There are times that we have the ability to have school physicals there, but we really need to have you sign up ahead of time so we know how many people are there, so we make sure that we have enough supplies. And they're sack lunch. Everybody will have a lunch to take with them. And it's a big program. It'll be very busy for a couple of hours, but it's a blessing to see the kids be able to get a backpack and get items for school, and it's a help for the parents.
I think it's so neat, though. There's so many different programs that are doing that as well. And
there are.
Because the need is so great.
The need is very great.
No matter what day it's done, if it's done here one day here or another week here, those places, they usually are packed, and kids come out. And I think it's a great thing to do is putting all those resources are in one place. Just get a simple thing like a haircut.
A simple thing like a haircut.
For some people it may not be a big deal, but for kids going back to school, that's a huge deal.
Well, and a school physical. Not everybody can get out of work to go at a certain time.
That's right.
And so it's a blessing to have it all right there. You can go with all of your kids at once and get it done instead of having to go at different times.
Now, is there immediate need at all for resources for those things, or do you guys have all?
We always need full-size backpacks or book bags. We always need school supplies. That's a huge need. Every year we put it out. We ask for donations. Quincy Neighborhood Federation is a 501c3, so if anybody ever wants to donate, they have that opportunity there. But we do collect full size. We need full size book bags because even the little kids have the same size paper and books as the big kids.
I just think it's amazing too. I got a chance to talk with someone who volunteered their time. They were a hairdresser, and they were just saying how rewarding it was to be able to give back to the community. And this is a great way for them to be able to do that.
It is. I love it. I love to see the kids' eyes. I love to see the parents' faces, the relief that they see that they don't have to try to come up with all of this.
Right.
But the kids, they've got God all through them, and they're shining. They're so excited to be able to go back to school to be the same as somebody else in their class, not have to have a paper bag or a plastic bag when everybody else has a new book bag. So it gets all the kids on a level playing field when they have the same thing that their neighbor or their classmate has.
That's a great thing you bring up, the whole idea of a level playing field, because for some people it may not be an issue.
Right.
It may be they go to Walmart or go to a supply store and get those supplies that they need, but for some other people that's not an option for them. So having this is a great opportunity for that, to level that playing field.
And it is. And a couple of years ago we had many different places we could go and get the book bags and all of that, and we're down now to a few places in Quincy that have them. So having the donations is very important this year.
Wow. Do you have any stories from the field of people you've seen or maybe talked to that have had opportunity, whether through the mini pantry opportunity opportunity, or maybe from there? And I love testimony and stories. Those are always great.
So I actually have a friend, a single mom with 2 kids who had been homeless in the past and had used the pantries numerous times. A lot of it was just to supplement maybe what they had or get them through until they had the next meal. And she has been blessed enough that now she goes and she helps me fill the pantries, and she and her kids, they actually can buy and help put back into the pantries. So to see that come back around, we have kids that come up and they're just so happy to have something in there that they can just eat. The one little boy I can remember that came up and he said that his stomach had been telling him that he needed to eat, but there wasn't anything in the pantry to eat. There was some canned goods in there, wasn't what he wanted to eat. There's been many different stories, many different blessings. We have some seniors that come and they will put pudding or something in their pockets because their mouth hurts or they're having problems with their teeth. And so something as simple as a soup or a pudding will be something that can get them through.
Wow.
There's just, the stories are just tremendous. There's so many, and it's not the reason to do it, but I think that's God just saying thank you and keep it up.
Okay. Awesome. Well, talking about, Quincy Neighborhood Federation, we're here with Tracy Kiefer, talking about some of the things they're doing as far as the mini pantries, the blessing boxes. I know you have the ice cream social coming up. We got a chance to talk about the back to school fair that you guys coming up, and you talked to us about all the locations that are available for people as well, and then how people can get involved as well. I think is so important. And anything else you want to convey to the people as you get an opportunity to talk to them?
There's a summer program coming up for kids, and again, it's going to be half days. There's different times in different areas of Quincy. Get involved in your community. It's well worth it. Quincy Neighborhood Federation is a wonderful organization. It's kind of a hidden organization. A lot of people don't know about it, but they do a lot for our community. They do a lot for those in need.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I would agree. There's a lot of what I call hidden gems in this area, in the gem city, as we've got a little play on words. But it really is a lot of hidden gems that people don't know about. But there's an opportunity for people to get involved, and that's so important that people are having the opportunity, are given the opportunity to help people who may be less fortunate. So I think that's a great thing that you guys are doing over there. Well, there may be somebody who's watching the show who saying, number one, how can I get involved? And we talked about that already. But it might be also someone who's watching who's never said, I've never asked Jesus Christ into my life, and it takes the love of Christ to be able to do for others. Things that you may have for yourself, but you're doing for others. Just talk to the people about opportunity they may have to make Jesus Christ their Lord and Savior.
A prayer or just
prayer. Yeah, that'd be great.
Father God, thank you so much for what you have done for me. You've helped me learn to help others. You have given me the love to be able to provide for others. You've given me the strength to be able to, Lord, tell my story, to help others understand who you are and what you do for them. You are always there, you always listen, and you will always love them, Lord, no matter what. There's no need too great. There's no fear too scary. You are always there, Lord. And Lord, I know that you can help others. They just need to ask. They can talk to any of us here. Pray, talk to you. Lord, thank you. Thank you very much for all you do.
Amen. I know that you brought some pictures, and I'm not sure we're able to get those pictures up or not. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of the pictures that I saw, because I saw that there were some young people who were able to help you out, and when you fill the different pantries. But just talk about how much joy they have in helping you do that, because young people have an opportunity to get involved with this as well. I think this would be a great opportunity for someone's youth ministry to get involved with filling the boxes and helping others.
There have been youth pastors that they've collected through the church. They've done different things. My granddaughter, my bonus grandkids, my bonus nieces and nephews, whoever it is, they love to go and fill them. They love to help other people. And I watch the joy in them when they get to do that. And it's even more important for them when they're there and then they see somebody come up and use it.
Yes.
Because they see the need.
What powerful that is.
I have
that
adults that have started using it, and they've come back to me with stories where a homeless gentleman walked up and he took a pudding cup and he took one of the 4, put it in his backpack, put the rest in. He could have easily taken it all.
Oh, yeah.
But he was doing that sharing. We've seen people come up and feed their dog before they fed themselves.
Wow.
Most of the people that are using these are humble. They have to be humble in order to do that. And most of the people using these are doing it and they realize there's other people out there. So they are actually saving for others. But get your kids, get your grandkids, get your nieces and nephews involved. God shining through their eyes, and then they go and they tell people, and that's all God. That's all, every bit of that is God showing through them. There's people that feel that, I know that they don't realize they're doing it for God, but that's God doing it. And a lot of people are doing it just to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that it's all God there helping them.
Most definitely. Well, thank you so much, Tracy, for being with us today. I know the work that you guys are doing is amazing with the Quincy Neighborhood Federation, a true gem in this tri-state area. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And I want to thank you guys for joining us today with Outreach Connection. One of the great things, I get an opportunity to talk to different people about the wonderful work that is going on in this community, and Quincy Neighborhood Federation is one of those wonderful works. So if you're watching today and you felt moved by something that was either said or talked about, and say, you know what, I want to fill a food box. You know, those locations are there on the screen for you to see. There's food boxes in Ursa, Minden, Camp Point, Payson, opportunities all around the city for you to help people who are really in need, who need opportunity to be fed. And so that's the great work, like I said, that's going on in this community, is something that we're really excited about. And we want you guys to get involved. We don't want you just to be hearing about what's going on. Let's get involved. There's suggestions there for you on the screen of things you can give and put in those boxes. It's a simple, now it's time for you to go to work. Get to work and help people who really need you to get involved. So we are excited here at Outreach Connection that we get the opportunity to talk to Tracy and talk about the wonderful things going on with that. We thank you, like I said, for being with us and joining us for Outreach Connection. These are the kind of things that this great tri-state area is all about, helping people who need help. It's not just about homeless people. It's not just about, it's about everyone who's in need. Some people you may know about, some people you may not, but what you can do is you can get involved. And our prayer for you today is that you heard something that inspired you to get involved. There's a number on the screen for you to call, get in contact with Tracy, let them know how you can help them, and continue to allow this tri-state area to be a place, a place of hope and for love and caring about people who are less fortunate. So we thank you so much for joining us today on Outreach Connection. We just continue to show you the love of Christ through you and to you to other people. Thank you for joining us. God bless you and have a good day.
Contact us at Outreach Connection, WTJR 222 North 6th Street, Quincy, Illinois 62301.